Hey everybody, and good Tuesday evening to you. It is Weather for Weather Geeks time. The final 2 days of October are ahead, and we've got lots to talk about this evening, including rain chances for trick-or-treaters Thursday evening and more record warmth, seeming pretty likely, especially tomorrow. We set a record today locally with a high of 77 at the Youngstown-Warren Regional Airport, breaking the old record high of 75 set both in 1999 and 1946. I think tomorrow's record of 75 is likely to be toast as well. Records were also set in Cleveland, and Wheeling, and New Philly, and Du Bois today. All these temperatures way, way above the average for October the 29th. A good 20 degrees above average for those daytime highs out there today. In the meantime, when we look at temperatures across the country, it's kind of easy to pick out where there's a cold front this evening. It's right out through here. Look at the difference between Denver and Omaha. This is the cold front that will bring us the rain chances late Thursday and especially into Thursday night, and a more seasonable air mass will push in to our area for the first 2 days of the month of November. Now, on the cold side of that front, yeah, it's cold enough for snow, certainly in a lot of Wyoming. There's going to be a pretty good dumping of snow with quite a bit of wind out here across the Black Hills of South Dakota and into Wyoming as well. Tomorrow, as this system comes east, actually a pretty good late October severe weather event is a possibility. The Storm Prediction Center did issue a level 3 enhanced risk of severe weather for tomorrow, especially late in the day tomorrow. From Kansas City and just east of Wichita over into the Ozarks, and even as far east as St. Louis and Chicago, there could be a gusty storm before the day is through. Thankfully, that severe weather threat will not materialize as this system continues to come east. So it's a rerun on Wednesday. Now, we did have a couple of showers out there this morning, especially in areas north of 224. We won't have that. Wednesday morning will be dry from start to finish. Much like today, there'll be a gusty southwest breeze, and again, we'll get well up into the 70s. The model trends with the timing of our front for Thursday. In general, we're seeing more agreement now, and it looks like this is mostly after sunset. Sunset's at about 6:20 at this time of the year, for a few more days anyway. And I think by about 7 to 8 o'clock, we're going to see rain chances increasing from west to east. Yeah, it's not going to be anything all that heavy. We don't expect thunder and lightning, but there will be some showers that try to sneak in for the tail end of trick-or-treat, especially. Most communities, the trick-or-treat's something like 5 to 7, 5 to 8, something like that. Early on, you have a better chance of staying dry rather than later on. Showers will then push out to the east pretty quickly. We're left with a very appropriate air mass for the first 2 days of November, Friday and Saturday. That's a chilly northwesterly breeze on Friday, a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures mostly in the 50s on Friday. That sounds chilly, but on November 1st, that's pretty much par for the course. So don't forget, you can get the hourly forecasts anytime on the Storm Tracker 21 app. In general, what we did this afternoon with our hourly rain chances, they really start ramping up from 7 o'clock onwards. Before 7 o'clock, can't rule out a couple of raindrops, a couple of showers, but I think the chances are higher just after sunset Thursday evening. Rain or no rain, it's going to be warm. Temperatures up in the upper 60s to around 70. A brief look at Election Day. Now, I showed you the same model yesterday for the same time period, next Tuesday on Election Day. It had a front laying out like this down here, and high pressure building in, and a kind of a blustery, cooler day for Election Day. The modeling today is definitely slower with this front, keeping us on the warm side of things for Monday and for Election Day. If the front does kind of stall out here, we got a shot at 70 or better on Election Day, and probably mostly dry as well. So we'll see if these trends with the modeling continue. At this point, I think odds favor a pretty mild Election Day on Tuesday. Rain chances still kind of up in the air, although they look lower today than they did yesterday. All right. There'll be some rain chances next week. I haven't seen this much green on the longer range precipitation outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center in a while. Of course, locally in eastern Ohio and western PA, rain has not been very common at all for the last couple of months, really. But I think next week we're going to have a few opportunities for some wet weather, and so it makes sense that above average precipitation is favored in today's Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day outlook, which basically goes from Monday through Friday of next week. Let's talk a little bit about the winter forecast, as we've been doing occasionally when the weather is quiet here on Weather for Weather Geeks. It'll be out on Monday, November the 11th. If you're a regular viewer of this video of Weather for Weather Geeks, you're going to get a video kind of in this vein, just longer than your typical Weather Geeks video. That'll show up on YouTube probably by about 7:30 on Monday evening, November the 11th. We will do the short, to-the-point version on TV, where we are restricted by time. So if you're more interested in that, or if you just want to get it before the YouTube version, you can tune in to 21 News at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. that evening, the 11th of November. We'll do it again at 11 p.m. that evening as well. If you're more of a reader, we'll put up a blog post version on ericwfmj.com. How will this winter compare to last, where I traced out the daily temperatures departure from average each day, December through February, last winter? We only had like one day in December and a few days in February that were cooler than the average. The winter was basically restricted to kind of this 8 or 9 or 10 day period in mid-January, where it was pretty cold. It was legit cold. But that's it. That was it for the whole winter. It warmed right back up at the end of January. We got way above the average at the end of January, and we spent most of February with a blowtorch-like pattern. Now, am I expecting this kind of flavor once again this winter? I would expect probably we're going to have more opportunities for some stretches like this. Will they outnumber the warm opportunities? I'm skeptical of that, certainly. And we'll talk about that, of course, in the upcoming winter forecast. But instead of just one 10-day chunk of cold weather this upcoming winter, I think odds would favor at least a few chunks of at least a week where it's, seasonably cold outside. So more details, of course, coming up on Weather for Weather Geeks and on Monday evening, the 11th of November, my annual winter forecast. In the meantime, thanks for watching tonight. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the balmy weather once again on Wednesday, and I'll see you back here for the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video once again Wednesday evening.